So all too soon, one of my very favorite web series is coming to an end. This is the last episode of season 5 of YOLO, right? So welcome to Voice Out TV. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell, and don't forget to get notified on any latest post we make. So yes, let's go straight into this. This is a review. We're actually reviewing this. I've watched it, and for me, I've seen a lot of people not happy that YOLO is coming to an end all too soon because people were really going into it, right? And I'll say that if you've been following YOLO from season 1, you know that there's been a huge improvement. They've built on the stories, and I think, it's amazing. Just that the storyline, as we all expected, right? We actually wanted it to be going for some time now, but I think they are bringing it to an end. And I believe they are bringing a new series, but they are saying they will be releasing the season 6, or they will be shooting the season 6 very soon. And so we wait for that. So let's go into the last episode. Let's see what happened. One thing I didn't like about this whole season was that it came with a lot of adverts, man. It came with a lot of adverts. So as you can see, it's 28 minutes, but I can tell you that the advert will take maybe 15 minutes or even 10 minutes, and the rest will be the series. And so that's why a lot of people are also complaining that, well, this episode or this particular season, they weren't happy with the length, okay, because it's coming to an end all too soon. And so let's continue with the season itself, the episode itself, episode 13. Yes.
Get kiddie. You know, get job too.
So this guy is one of, if you've been watching, you know this guy, man. Charles' cousin, okay? So also, same blood, just like Brad Charles, and he was introduced into the season, and a lot of people also like his character, okay? So just like how we knew Brad Charles to be, we learned that, well, people from his family, the guys from his family also are the same way, and so it's a family thing, okay? It's not a personal thing, it's a family thing. So that's quite interesting. I think this is a new twist they added to the new season. I personally loved. Okay, so let's continue with this. So I think here they were trying to learn, and both of them weren't able to grab what they were learning just because of girls. And Araba Bratas has been following Araba since I think season 2, okay? And in season 5, Araba's laptop got to Brad Charles because Brad Charles actually told Araba that Brad Charles can repair the laptop, right? Just so Brad Charles will let Araba come to him, and whatever he plans to do with Araba, he'll do. And so Araba is a smart girl, okay? So Araba contacted Brad Charles, like, oh, Brad Charles, I'm in your area. I want to get a laptop. And Brad Charles said, oh, I'm sick, okay? So come to my place. He planned something out with his cousin. But later, it didn't work out. So this was when Araba was contacting Brad Charles, or Charles, that Charlie, I want to come for my laptop. And Charles was also trying to sweet her small.
All this for one girl. You do everything.
George.
So yes, this scene also very interesting scene. So as you can see here, this is Monster, this is Charles, and this also a new guy who was added to this season. And I think this is the shop attendant, right? The barber shop attendant. Okay, so or the barbering shop attendant, sorry. Okay, so yes. So episode 12. Why am I saying season? Okay, so episode 12, right? Monster actually videoed Betty speaking with Araba, and Betty confessed that she was into George. So Monster had a conversation and he videoed it. And so he called George to the barbering shop or the barbering salon and wanted to play the video to George, okay? But he was asking for something that, hey, George, you have to pay before I show you what I have for you. And George didn't pay. So I think he didn't get to see it, but they were speaking. So here they were talking about it. And this season also, we saw Cyril and Emily finally, they've decided to date. So they are dating. They've gone for a trip, a very nice trip, and I think something happened. I'll just like to show you guys. I think Emily met her old mate, and for the very first time, Cyril was jealous, okay? And okay, so we'll go to that later, but let's come to this. So people are actually talking about these guys, okay? So these were the new people who were introduced. This lady, Ariana, her name is Ariana, and I think she's in love with Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony is the new face with the Love August. I mean, Dilaf August. That's his real name, Dilaf August. If you follow him on social media, that's his real name. But his name in the movie is Odenchem. Okay, so I mean, brotherly advice. Sometimes his advice, I mean, goes way too wild. But Mark Anthony, I think, has been good. Sometimes he takes the advice, sometimes he doesn't. Okay, so at this point, Ariana wanted to give Mark Anthony her number because, as we all know, in Ghana, right, SHS, you don't use phone, and so when you are going on long vacation, you just write your number. I mean, for the person, right? So when the person gets home, the person will call you. Okay, so I mean, this was actually happening here, as you can see right here. Ariana is holding the paper, so she gave the number to. So this actually happened, and it tells you that, well, their relationship is growing, their love is growing. But I just love the fact that they decided to take things slow. Okay, they accept the fact that they are still in SHS and they have feelings for each other, but they've accepted that they want to go slow. They want to go it, or they want to go at it slow. Okay, so I just love that fact. Okay, so moving on to another love scene. Okay, so the scene I was talking to you about where Cyril was jealous. Emily met an old mate and everything happened. You guys should watch what happened.
Emily?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
God.
It's been so long.
I know, where have you been?
I've been around. I bet you don't look for me.
Let me introduce you. Abeku, this is Cyril. Cyril, this is Abeku. We used to sit at the same desk back in high school.
Okay, that's fine.
So Charlie, you see, the guy just snubbed Cyril. And Charlie, Cyril wasn't taking this, man. Cyril wasn't happy.
You look so nice.
You see, he wasn't happy. And then something also happened. I think somewhere. Okay, so this guy also love scene. So this season was full of love scenes, and the lady, I mean, they came out. The lady was actually telling this guy that, well, you know, no sex, we have to abstain, and or the guy obviously wasn't happy. But Charlie, what can you do if your girl is saying you have to abstain? You can't rape her. Okay, so yes, let's move on to okay. So this scene, right? This was actually the part that got Cyril jealous for the very first time. So we've all been watching the season, and most of the time it's Emily that gets jealous. Okay, so for the very first time, Cyril got jealous just because of this scene. The guy was overly hugging Emily, and for me, I was like, but this guy too, why? You are hugging the lady too much. Okay. So okay, I think that was the last hug, but let's go to they hugged. I was like, wow, what sort of hugging is this? You see, they hugged again. While speaking, and they hugged again, and I think they'll hug again. So Cyril was seeing all of this, and it was like, no. So Emily came back. Cyril was not happy. Emily was like, wow, so you are jealous? Okay, wow, you are jealous. Let's know that.
Wait, Cyril, are you jealous?
Me? Not at all.
So he was trying to deny that he wasn't jealous, but he was. I mean, for guys, sometimes we deny. Want to act off that we are not jealous, but Charlie, deep down, we are extremely jealous. We are very jealous. So yeah, I think that's an interesting side, and these are the highlights of the last episode. Okay, so another side, right? I was talking about this some of the others. So I was talking about Araba. Okay, so yes, this season also started with King George dating this lady. Okay, and I've forgotten this lady's name. Lydia. Okay, Lydia. So yes, King George was dating Lydia, and initially when they were dating, King George was shy. Okay, he was actually shy to tell his friends that he was actually going out with Lydia, because in the series, Lydia is an ice cream cake seller. Okay, so King George went to a park. I don't know what he wanted to, or what he actually went there to do, but he went there and met Lydia with her new guy who was from America. And King George was like, oh, so this is what's happening? Okay, so...
What do you mean he wants to go out with me?
Okay, so Lydia lied that, okay, she doesn't know King George. Lydia lied to the guy, to the American guy, that, oh, she doesn't know King George. And she was like, oh, I remember this guy. This guy has been worrying me that he wants to go out with me. Obviously lying. And King George was very shocked, as you can see right here.
Hey, look, man, what is it? Why are you harassing my girl? Harassing you, your girl. Look, man, she said she doesn't want you, so just leave, just walk away. Why you harassing her?
Why are you harassing me?
So yes, I think this was also part of. This was also, I mean, the last episode, right? That I thought was very interesting. Part of the last episode that I thought was very interesting. Okay, so the last one. Okay, so this season started with a new cast known as Yasmin. Okay, and this lady claimed to be Cyril's wife. I mean, she met with Emily, and it didn't end well. Okay, Emily is a very jealous lady. I mean, whenever she gets jealous, she just runs on Cyril. She leaves Cyril and all. So Cyril actually invited Emily over. Cyril said he will be cooking for Emily and all, not knowing Yasmin was also coming to leave a bag at Cyril's home. So when Yasmin was speaking with Cyril, Emily also came, and Emily thought something was going on. And that was the last part. Emily thought something was going on, and then she had to run off. Right, so this was where Cyril was actually speaking with Emily, and Emily asked Cyril, "What will you cook?" Right, because Emily was coming over, and then Cyril said, "What will you eat?" And so they were speaking, and this time Yasmin was also calling Cyril, but Cyril didn't pick up. Right, so Cyril was cooking in the kitchen, and then he heard the door. He actually heard the bell ring, so he thought it was Emily, just for him to meet with Yasmin. And so he was shocked that, Yasmin, what are you doing here? I'm not expecting you. And Yasmin was like, oh, I was calling you, you weren't speaking. Anyway, I just came to leave my bag and all. Okay, so when Yasmin was just leaving, Emily also came. Emily saw Yasmin leaving, and then Emily thought, Charlie, something was going on. So this was the last scene.
Who's that nice man?
I see I go sort.
And for this side too, I mean, this guy is Flex, okay? So the whole Ariana and Mark Anthony side, this guy is Flex. Flex saw, Flex became cool with Mark Anthony because when Flex was sick, Mark Anthony showed love. He bought things with his own money to cater for Flex, okay? But Flex's ex-girlfriend is Ariana, and Flex is still into Ariana. And Ariana wants to move on with Mark Anthony. So you see the complications there. So Flex has warned Mark Anthony to stay away from Ariana. Okay? And so when Flex was cool with Mark Anthony, they were leaving. I mean, they vacated, going to pack their things to leave because Mark Anthony's mother has come in to pick him home. Okay? So Flex's friend was harassing Mark Anthony, and he saw the number, and Flex got angry. Flex was like, Mark Anthony, I told you to stay away from my girlfriend. Why are you still having her number? Okay, and so it was a scene that was quite interesting. Also, so this was
number they look familiar.
So Mark Anthony actually lost the number. Okay, I don't think he chewed the number, as we would say. I don't think he chewed the number in his head. He lost the number because Flex got angry and tore the paper up. So as you can see right here. So yes, that was also an interesting scene. So let's move on to the last scene I was talking about, where Emily came to meet Yasmin there, and Emily is a very jealous lady, man, Charlie. So there's it.
No, wait, no.
So when Yasmin was actually leaving, okay, Cyril saw Emily coming in. And Cyril was saying, no, Yasmin, wait. Because Emily said, I'm at your door, okay?
From there, I'll just go back to Kumasi.
Today?
Yes, today.
So she was leaving.
Wait, no.
And they just met.
You?
No. Emily, listen.
Seriously?
No.
Charlie, Cyril. Oh. So this is the end of season 5. For me personally, I also think, we all wanted them to extend the story, but yeah, that's it. I think it's interesting, right? So let's wait on season 6. But this season, Emily just doesn't want to wait for explanations, man. Anyway, I think this is very interesting, and this is amazing. I mean, for me, I loved the new people they added, right? The new faces they added, and the whole education thing. the whole SHS thing, and the guys were going to university. Emily was still in the university. Cyril was also schooling in the university, right? And so I actually love how they've grown from season 1 to season 5. And I mean, we are all following. It's been, I think, 5 years now, or 4 or 3 years now, and I think we've all been following. So yes, let me know your thoughts on this, man. So don't forget to subscribe. We are out. Have a blessed day.